In today's video, I'm going to show you step by step how to create this landing page for your online course website. So as you can see, we have a beautiful hero area. So I'm going to show you how to design all this step by step. It's a really professional landing page. So there you go. So I'm going to show you step by step how to create this. So for this design, I'm going to be using Divi, and also you can use this absolutely free. I provided the link to that in the video description below. Download it, install it on your website, and you can use it in your own designs. All right, guys, without wasting a lot of time, let's dive in and let's get started. All right, so right now I'm logged into the WordPress admin dashboard. So the first thing I need to do is to create a brand new page. So I'm going to come over here to pages, click on add new. So you can give this page whatever name you want. It doesn't really matter because this is going to work as your landing page. So I'm going to go in here and call this landing. Use Divi Builder. So this is going to take us now into the Divi Builder. And here on the Divi Builder, we have a few options to get us started. So first we have build from scratch, choose a pre-made layout and clone existing page. So we want to come over here to choose pre-made layout because this is going to make the design of this page easy. I'm going to click here on choose pre-made layout, and the layout I'm looking for is an LMS layout. And here we are. You can see here, this is the learning management system. So the page I'm looking for here is the landing page, which is this one here. I'm going to click once on it and click on use this layout. So this layout is now going to be added onto the page that we're just about to design. Okay, so as you can see, my page now has been loaded and it has this pre-made design. And this is what makes us design our websites fast. So the next stage now is to add our graphics and our text on this page. So let's start off with this very first image background here. So I'm going to click on this gear icon here, and I'm going to go into the background. So as you can see, we have this background image here. So I want to go to the third tab and replace this image with my own image. So I'm going to delete this, click on this plus button, and I'm going to add my own image and see how that looks. So as you can see here, I've just added my image, and to be honest, it doesn't look really bad, but we need to get rid of this gradient right here. So let's click here on the second tab, and then we're just going to click on delete. So now we have deleted our background gradient, and over here on the image, we're just going to come over here now to our background blend, and we're going to change this to normal. So now we can see here we have our normal image. So sometimes this background here may not look great, so you want to play around with them and see which one works better. So I'm going to go back here and let's see what I can do. I also have another one here, so let's try this one. So I'm going to click upload an image, and to be honest, I think this one actually is much better. Okay, so let's save this one. Next, I'm going to come over here now, and I have this image here which I don't need, so I am going to delete it by clicking here. Great. So now that I've deleted that, I would rather have this text over here to the right. So I'm going to drag this over to the right, just like that. And then we also have this description text, which again, I will drag and add over here to the right. And then finally, we have this button. Again, I'm going to drag it, add it to the right. Great. So now I've added my titles and also my call to action button. The next step now is to go in and change the colors. So I'm going to click on this gear icon, and this is going to take me into my text settings. Click on design, and then here I'm going to go into text and then change this to white or something close to that. Now I also want to change this font to Poppins. So this is where you can also go in and change your fonts to whatever font you want. And then I'm going to make this medium. Yeah, so it's much easier to read. And I'm also going to increase the size a little bit, maybe to about 20. And then I am also going to reduce the line height. Right, let's set it to 1.8. Okay, 1.8 is great. And also on my title here, I'm also going to change my font. So I'm going to save this, go to my title, click on this gear icon. And what I'm going to do as well, as I did before, click on design, heading text, and I'll click on this brush tool so it takes me to the specific heading, which is heading 1 in this case. So I'm going to click here on Poppins, and as you can see, my font has changed. I'm going to increase the size a little bit. Okay, 44 is fine. And I'm just going to set this to 1. Okay, just 1 EM. Okay, great. So now my heading here is looking great, but I'm sure you can agree with me that over here on the right, we want to add a bit of a dark gradient because we want the text to really stand out from the background. So to do that, we're going to go back over here to our section settings, click on background, and then click on gradient. So on the gradient here, we need to add our two colors. So my first color here is going to be a really dark color. Maybe I'll even go with black. And my second color is going to be transparent. So I'm going to drag this slider all the way down. Okay. And then I'm going to place my gradient above the image by clicking that. So now you can see my gradient has been added, but it has not been added correctly. In fact, you know what? I actually like how it is right now because it's right on the bottom. So I think this is going to work great for this. Okay, so now that I have this in place, I can now go ahead and save. And that's our main heading done. And let's move on to the next part. And this is where you get to add your descriptions for your courses. So you know what? I don't really like this. I'm just going to delete the whole thing. So I'm going to click here on this trash icon and that's all gone. So what I'm going to do now is to add a brand new section. So you want to hover between these two sections. It's very important you do that because you want to see this plus button. Click on this plus button and then click on regular. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add 3 equal columns. And in these 3 equal columns, I'm going to add some blurbs. So I'm going to add this one here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend a bit of time customizing this so that this becomes my default. When I need to customize or design the next ones, I will just duplicate it. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So first of all, I'm going to come over here and grab my dummy text. I'm going to paste it in place. In your case, this will be your actual font, okay? Or your actual text. Next, I want to add my title over here. So I'm just going to copy a bit of text, which is going to act as my title for this blurb, like that. Great. Next, I'm going to come over here, image and icon. So over here, I prefer to use icons. So I'm going to go to my icons and I'm just going to scroll down here a little bit and see what I need to choose. So I'm going to go with this one here. Great. So that folder is going to be my icon. Now we need to stylize this and make it look really nice. So what I normally do is I would come over here to design and over here on text, I align everything to the center. And then I go to my text, title text, change this to my font, which is going to be Poppins. And then I'm also going to go to my paragraph text. I'm going to hover over here, click on this brush tool. Okay, so now I can go to my body font, change this to Poppins. So this is looking great so far. Now it's time to go to the icon. I'm going to click here on this little icon and I'm going to change my icon color. Now, I'm not sure which color I'm going to use for this right now. So all I'm going to do now is to add this into a circle and let's change this to about that color, right? So that's a light bluish color. And then I'm going to click on use icon font size. So we can adjust the size of our icon here by dragging this slider down. So as you can see, the icon is getting smaller. So I'm going to go with 30 for this. Okay, so as you can see now, things are starting to take shape and I'm really, really happy with this. The next step now is to head over here to my sizing. In fact, let's go to spacing first. So we're going to add some padding to this. So I'm going to add 2 VW to my padding, both to the top and bottom. And then I'm going to also add it to the left and right. Okay, great. So right now we haven't seen a difference to what is happening here. And that is because we haven't added the background. So now I'm going to come over here to content, click on background, and we want to give this a background color. Now look, notice that when I add this, it's now added this color to the background. So here you can be quite creative. You can add different colors here and go with what really works for you. Okay, so I'm going to go with something very subtle like this. And now it's time to add some rounded corners here. So I'm going to come over here to design and then click on border. So on the border here, I'm going to add 3 and I've added a subtle rounded corner here to all the sides. So while we're here, I want to go back over here to the icon because on the icon here, I really want to make it stand out. So let's add a circle here. Okay, so I think that looks much better now. That really stands out. Okay, great. So now that I've designed this, I'm going to save this And then to save us time, I'm going to duplicate this twice and then add it over to the other side. So I'm going to do it 1, 2. And then now I can just drag this over here, drag this one here to the last column. Excellent. Now all I have to do is to go into this one here and change the icon itself. So I'm going to scroll down, click on image and icon, and I'm going to choose a totally different icon here. So I'm going to go with this one here and then save. And then I'm going to come over here to the last one and then scroll down here to image and icon and also change this icon. So I'm going to come over here and let's go with the light bulb. Great. So now I have my icons in place. I can now save. And this is pretty much my information that I need about my online course website. The next step now is to click on this plus button, and we're also going to add another row. And this time it's going to be a single column, because in this single column now we're going to add some description text to that particular section. So this needs to be a text module. I'm going to search for it and select it. Next, I'm going to come over here, grab my dummy text, and I'm going to use this as my title for that section. So back over here, I'm just going to go in here, I'm going to paste it like that, highlight all this text, change this to heading 1, and then I can now stylize it. So I'm going to go to design, heading text, I'm going to align center, and then choose our font to Poppins. So that's looking great. Now I can save this. Now we just need to drag this over to the top, just like that. Excellent. So this becomes our title for this whole section. Now, what I normally do as well is to give this section some breathing space. So I'm going to click here on this gear icon, and I'm just going to give this some breathing space by coming over here to design, spacing. So let's give this 5 VW and let's see how that looks. Okay, it's very subtle. So let's just increase this. Okay, let's go with about 7 VW. Okay, that looks okay. I'm going to save that. So now you can see our section here is nice, it's clean, and it is really, really cool. Okay, so we have the main area here, which is the hero area. We scroll down, and this is pretty much our description for what our site is all about. And then now let's work on this part right here. Okay, so what we're going to do, like we did before, we're going to come over here and go to our background. So I prefer to have a solid color here. So I'm going to delete this, right? So our image now is gone. I'm going to come over here to my gradient, get rid of the gradient. So what I need to do now is just to add a solid color by coming over here, and I'm going to add that as my solid color. And then all I have to do now is to go into this section and change my image. So I'm going to delete this by clicking here, and then I'm going to add my own image. Okay, so now I can click anywhere here, choose the image I need to go with. So I'm going to go with this one right here, upload an image, and you can see here my image has been added. I'm going to now save this. Okay, great. So now I have my image in place. I have my title here. So what I need to go ahead and do as well is to change my font here to Poppins. So I'm going to click here. Let's go to design. I'm going to click on this pencil icon, and now I can change this from default to Poppins. Okay, great. And I also need to check something here because I can see my text here has a bit of a gap here. So I am going to now change my line height to 1. And then I'm also going to go to spacing because this is where I think things are adjusted. Okay, so I've removed the margin here. So let's go ahead now and save. Great. Now we also need to make some adjustments to this text. So I'm going to click on this gear icon and let's go to design, text, and we're going to make sure that this is this color here. This is really light blue. And then over here on the default, we're going to change this to Poppins. Okay, great. I'm going to save this now. Now, what we could also do here is to add an image here in the background, but then make it really, really subtle. So let's go ahead and try it out and see if that's going to work. I'm going to click here on this gear icon to go into my settings, section settings, click on background, and now I'm going to add my image over here. And this very same image is what I'm going to add. And as you can see here, not looking good. Okay. But we're going to make our adjustments by coming over here and choosing, okay, so our blend mode here is overlay. So let's try. So this is a matter of playing around with these blending modes. So let's try multiply. Okay, so this darkens it. And I think I'm going to go with multiply. But what I need to do now is to come back over here to the background and choose a really dark color. So as you can see, it's covering everything. So now we just want to drag this slider down a little bit just to show a bit of that image in the background. So as you can see here, this is a really subtle design element that we can add on our landing page. Now let's go ahead and save. Okay, so I really like how it's looking so far. Now let's move on to the next section. And here, this one here is quite straightforward. Okay, great. So I'm just going to delete a few of these sections which I don't need. So let's go ahead and get rid of that one too. I don't need this one as well. Okay, so these are the ones that I have left. So these are fine. All I have to do now is to go in and delete any item that I don't need here. So I'm going to start by deleting this one here. Okay, so let's go into the title. And for our title here, we are going to go into design. Click on this pencil icon and let's change this from default to Poppins. Okay, we're going to save that. Now, what I also need to check here is if I were to make some changes to all of this, I want to show you a quick way of extending my styles so that it's easier for me to apply this design across this whole section. So I'm going to go back over here and let's go into design and heading text. So we're going to change our color here for our heading text. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to go with this color here for my heading text. And while I'm here, I'm going to extend styles. And this needs to be applied to this section. And then I'm going to say extend. So now when I scroll down, you're going to notice that my titles here have all been updated. Pretty cool. All right, so let's save this. Now over here, I'm going to delete this one because I'm not really a fan of these icons here. All right, so now that I've deleted all that, let's also work on this text right here. So I'm going to go into my module settings, and this is my text settings. Click on design, and I'm going to now click on this pencil icon. Change my text here to Poppins. And then I'm going to change this other text here to Poppins as well. Great. So I'm really, in fact, you know what? Let me come over here and change my line height. Right. So I'm going to go with 1.3. In fact, you know what? Let's go with 1.4. So that's looking much better. So this is going to be the description part of your landing page. And now we need to change this image. So I'm going to go into my settings here. And then I'm going to change my image. So the image I'm going to go with is this one right here. Upload an image. Great. So that's my first image. I'm going to save. And I'm also going to go in here and extend my styles because I don't want to go in and start working on all of this. You know, it's going to take me a long time. So now I'm going to go back to my text here. Click on these three little dots. In fact, I need to go into design. Let's find our text, and it is right here. There we go. Click on these three little dots, extend styles to this section, extend. Let's have a look. Okay, so that has worked. We also need to do this one here. Click on these three little dots, extend text styles, extend. Excellent. So now everything has been updated. All I have to do now is to go in and change these images. So I'm going to come over here, click on this gear icon, And I'm going to add my second image, which is going to be this one here. Save that. Next, I've got this part here, which is the final image. Click here on this gear icon. And then I'm going to click in this area, choose my image, upload an image, save. Okay, great. So as you can see, I've gone in, I've made all my major changes to this page, and pretty much this is going to be our final design. So now I am going to click on these three little dots here, click on save, and we are pretty much ready to exit the Visual Builder and take a look at our page design. Okay, so now let's scroll through our page. So that's our main hero part. Our second part here. Look at that. It also has some animations. There we go. So that is our page design. You can easily start using this on your own website as well, because I'm going to have this available for you to download absolutely free. You can use this pretty much on any of your designs, save you the hassle of designing this whole layout. Okay, so just go to the link I've provided in the video description below, download it, and you can use it absolutely free. All right, guys, that's all I have for you in today's video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.